Mater, sons be loyal, keep her name in purest light, never waver from her precept.
Since 1856, Seton Hall Prep's faculty has been a model of excellence and commitment, the very source of our school's stability and success. Few schools can claim as seasoned and dedicated a group. The average tenure of our faculty is well over 20 years, and nearly 40 faculty members are Seton Hall Prep alumni. Our faculty members are accomplished in their fields and have dedicated themselves to the education of young people and to preserving the health and well-being of our school. This year, we are particularly grateful for the efforts of the faculty as we confronted unprecedented challenges presented by COVID-19. While today we mark exceptional service, retirements, and accomplishments, those we honor are an annual snapshot of the tremendous educators of the Prep. In the absence of an in-person gathering, we hope that this video will honor and remind us of the essential work they do to fulfill the mission of the Prep.
It is my honor to introduce the celebration, recognizing and thanking a number of faithful and loyal faculty and staff members for their time, talent, hard work, and simply being the backbone behind the Prep over the years. The number of years of service is only a small part of the appreciation they so well deserve. Today we celebrate retirements and special anniversaries of people who love young people and fulfill their daily work with joy and care. Unfortunately, we are not celebrating these awards in person because of the pandemic, but the significance and importance is still the same.
After graduating Seton Hall Prep in 1985, Mr. Bill Siedler returned to the Prep in the spring of 1992 as a replacement theology teacher. The following year, he transitioned to the English department and has taught various subjects through the years, including Junior English, AP English Language, Classics Epic, and Humanities Seminar. Throughout his years of teaching, Mr. Siedler has sought to foster a love for literature and art in his students and to encourage them to be analytical thinkers and thoughtful writers. For many years, he has been instrumental in helping prepare rising ninth graders for the demands of freshman English through the Prep for the Prep program. Mr. Siedler has been the moderator of the Pirate, or school newspaper, since 1996 and was the assistant coach for forensics from 1997 to 2005. In 2017-2018 school year, Mr. Siedler became the English department chair. For his service and commitment to the Prep community, he received the Caprio Award in 2017, and for his excellence in teaching, he was the recipient of the Msgr. Michael Kelly Teacher of the Year Award in 2018. Mr. Siedler's family has deep roots in the Prep, with his father John, graduated in 1955, and his brother Bob, graduated in 1990. We thank you, Mr. Siedler, for 25 years of faithful and professional service. Mr. Kevin Williams arrived at the Prep in 1995 and joined our history department as a teacher of both world history and current affairs. He also taught U.S. history, church history, and started teaching economics 20 years ago. Since then, he has been the primary teacher of CP and AP economics. Alongside his commitment to teaching, Mr. Williams has been a dedicated multi-season coach. From the start of his career at the Prep, he has been the head coach of our outstanding freshman soccer program. For 15 years, he served as an assistant basketball coach with the freshman team under Coach Berman and the varsity under Coach Farrell. He was elevated to head coach of the successful varsity basketball team 9 years ago. To round out his athletic year, he has also served as the head coach of our varsity golf team for the past 21 years. For his tireless commitment to the Seton Hall Prep athletic program, Mr. Williams was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2012. Mr. Williams' family has been a part of the Prep tradition for many years, with his father Joseph graduated in 1954 and his son Patrick graduating in 2019. For his service to the Prep, Mr. Williams will receive an honorary Seton Hall Prep diploma this year. We thank you, Mr. Williams, for your 25 years of service and commitment to the Prep. Mr. Dave Caney graduated Seton Hall Prep in 1990, and after attending Princeton University, returned to the Prep in 1995 and was a versatile and effective teacher, teaching both history and math. The versatility and effectiveness has spanned his time at the Prep as he taught Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and College Algebra, and has helped students accelerate their math curriculum through summer enrichment. Mr. Caney will be assuming the helm of the math department as its chairperson in the coming academic year. Mr. Caney has been a dedicated coach in our baseball program since 1996 and coached football from 1997 to 2001. Mr. Caney was inducted into the Seton Hall Prep Hall of Fame in 1998. Mr. Caney is one of a long line of Caneys to pass through the Prep hallways, including his brothers Mike, class of 1996, and Doug, class of 1998. His son, Russ, class of 2020, Jack, class of 2022, and William, class of 2023, have carried on the family tradition. We thank you, Mr. Caney, for your 25 years of service and commitment to the Prep. After graduating from Seton Hall Prep in 1989, Mr. Dave Snyder returned to the Prep in 1995, first as a substitute biology teacher, and then as a full-time physical science and chemistry teacher. His 25 years at the Prep have been a model of innovation and leadership. He was instrumental in designing our physical science curriculum, which provided students with the essential foundation for future science study. In 2004, Mr. Snyder would be named the chairperson of the science department, a position he would hold until 2016. During that time, he was instrumental in expanding our science department and designing our Murphy Science Center. In 2011, he was also named the first director of educational technology. Among his contributions, he developed our STEM project-based learning class in 2016 and has supervised exciting projects like the annual Space Balloon Project, the GPS Ocean Drifter Project, and the most recent COVID-19 Relief Project. He also ran a very popular summer geology class, assumed the role of director of our successful Pirate Academy program in 2016, and recently created the Python's Programmers Club. During his tenure, he was honored with the first Fusco Family Award for Technological Innovation in 2001, and the Monsignor Michael E. Kelly Teacher of the Year Award in 2004. Mr. Snyder has also made significant contributions to our state-ranked soccer program, where he served as a JV soccer coach for 17 years and now serves as the assistant coach to our varsity team. For these contributions, he was acknowledged as the Coach of the Year in 2013, the United Soccer Coaches 2015 Assistant Coach of the Year for the East Region of the United States, and was inducted into the Seton Hall Prep Hall of Fame in 2018. His son Jack will be a member of the class of 2026. We thank you, Mr. Snyder, for your 25 years of enthusiastic, innovative, and visionary service to the Prep.
The Fusco Family Award acknowledges a teacher, staff person, or administrator who has made a special commitment to the technological innovations for the good of the school and its students. In the weeks leading up to the school closure due to COVID-19, this year's recipient spent his time making sure that our teachers were going to be prepared to teach their students from home. He created countless screencasts so that teachers would have reference materials for making the most of the usefulness of OneDrive, various software packages, and the MySHP portal. He discovered Screencast-O-Matic.com, learned how to use it, created user videos so that the rest of us could also learn how to use it. In the time immediately preceding our closure, Dave Snyder spent hours into the evening planning professional development for our teachers. Dave took the lead and was instrumental in the development of our training day, which came together with just a few hours' notice. He was determined that all teachers would have what they needed as we move forward with the closure. Dave created, maintained, and regularly updated a technology integration document containing links for teachers, differentiating websites that contain teaching technologies from websites containing assessment technologies. This document contained videos, links, and explanations, and even had a link to a video at the beginning explaining what the document contained. In the early days of the COVID-19 closure, Dave spent countless hours debugging various issues with the portal assessments. He created videos for teachers showing them how to email their students directly from the portal, what the students' assignment view looked like in the portal, how to scan documents, how to upload videos to YouTube, how to set up a class in Microsoft Teams, how to schedule a meeting in Teams, how to join a video conference and add files to Teams, just to name a few. He even created a video for teachers to send to their students so that they would know how to use Microsoft Teams. In the midst of tirelessly working so that our teachers were able to use as much educational technology as humanly possible, Dave was teaching 2 freshman physical science classes and 1 STEM course for upperclassmen. In the STEM class, Dave led his students in the creation of a website designed to connect frontliners and hospital workers in need of COVID-19 related materials with individuals and groups who had supplies to share. Dave and his class created covidresourcenetwork.org with the help of a web development company and had the opportunity to share information about this new website on Fox News. In a year where there were so many teachers pioneering and mastering new educational technology, it is my pleasure to acknowledge Dave Snyder for his tireless commitment to helping our teachers, his students, and the people outside our community with technological innovation. Dave, you were the very first Fusco Family Award winner in 2001, and it is my honor to present you with the 2020 Fusco Family Award in recognition of your continuing commitment to technological innovations for the good of Seton Hall Prep, its teachers, and its students. Congratulations.
After attending Seton Hall University, Mr. Richard Morris joined the faculty of Seton Hall Prep in 1970 as a Spanish teacher, a position that he held until 1998. As a teacher with high standards, he always demanded the best of his students. Yet it is Mr. Morris's eye and his photographic talent that has led him to become the one man who has chronicled our lives at the Prep for the past 50 years and helped preserve our precious and long institutional history, a gift that will live on for generations. His early contributions to our collective memory were in the Tower yearbooks, and he moderated these from 1970 through 1975, and then again in 1986 through 1988. The professional nature of these books and their exquisite eye for detail set the bar for high school publications and remain the models of our long Tower tradition. These standards live on in the annual Tower Revisited that he has both published and edited since 1998, a publication that once again sets a bar unmatched by other high schools and most colleges. Mr. Morris shared his photographic passion as a teacher of photography from 1986 through 1999. Mr. Morris was instrumental in helping the Prep market itself to our communities and was actively involved in the strategic marketing plan developed in the 1990s. He would become the Director of Communications in 1998 and served in that position until 2018. In this role, he would leverage his technological know-how and his visual gifts to launch the Prep's first full-featured school website in 1999, www.shp.org. He also inaugurated the first website based on parent-teacher academic communications portal, our parent-teacher link, in 2002. Mr. Morris continues to preserve our Prep heritage in his role as the Director of Archives and Photographic Resources, for always being on the cutting technological edge and for helping to usher the prep into the technological age. Mr. Morris was awarded the Fusco Family Award in 2006. For his commitment to the SHP community, he was awarded the Reynolds Award in 1985. And for his contributions to our athletic program, both as an assistant baseball coach from 1972 through 1982, a freshman baseball coach from 1983 through 1989, and for chronicling the athletic lives of our students. He was inducted into the SHP Hall of Fame in 1995. He also received his honorary Seton Hall Prep diploma in 1995. We thank you, Mr. Morris, for your 50 years of tireless and selfless service, and for helping preserve the prep traditions and memories that are woven into the fabric of our lives. After he graduated the prep in 1966 and Boston College in 1970, Mr. Joe Walsh returned to his alma mater in 1970, where he taught in the English department and worked in the guidance department until 1974. In his earliest days, he taught American literature to juniors and coached freshman football and baseball. Mr. Walsh would serve the prep in a variety of the roles in the years that would follow. From 1974 through 1976, he would serve as the Assistant Dean of Men and the Dean of Men. From 1976 through 1978, he taught in the math department. At the heart of Mr. Walsh's work throughout his career was the extracurricular life of Seton Hall Prep students. He took the helm as both the Director of Athletics and Activities in 1978. As the Director of Athletics, a role he would hold for next 30 years, and as the Director of Activities until 1994. Mr. Walsh was a principled and effective leader who always sought to develop an athletic program that would enrich the lives of young men who came to the prep. He would lead our storied athletic programs through decades of great success. Upon his official retirement in 2014, Mr. Walsh continued to serve our students by caring for our bus fleet, which is so instrumental to the transportation behind our athletic and activities program. For shepherding our athletic programs to great prominence and for his tireless commitment to our students, Mr. Walsh would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1992. For his extensive contributions to the school community, he was awarded the Reynolds Award in 1982 and the Thomas Fay Alumnus of the Year Award in 2016. Mr. Walsh's life has been shaped by the prep, with his father Joseph graduating in 1938 and becoming a Superior Court judge and receiving the Alumnus of the Year Award in 1980. And his sons Michael and Gregory, graduating in 1994 and 1999, respectively. Gregory is currently the junior varsity basketball coach. Thank you, Mr. Walsh, for your 50 years of service and for helping to sustain the programs that have enriched the lives of so many young men. We wish you and Barbara the best and our prayers in your retirement. Mr. Tom Murray started teaching math 50 years ago in the Newark school system. After 34 years, he retired and began teaching math here at Seton Hall Prep. In his 16 years at the Prep, he has taught Algebra 1 and Geometry at both the CP and honors levels. Mr. Murray has been an invaluable resource for new math teachers, fosters great camaraderie in the math department, and is well known to be an effective teacher who communicates content clearly. Outside the classroom, Mr. Murray has been involved in officiating high school track meets, is an avid Mets and Jets fan, and enjoys golfing. He and his wife Donna reside in Cranford and spend summers with their 3 children and 4 grandchildren. Thank you, Mr. Murray, for your 16 years of service to the prep and for your 50 committed years of educating young people. Mr. Joseph Boland joined the prep math department in 1989 after teaching many years at Oratory Prep. As a veteran high school teacher with many years' experience teaching on the university level, Mr. Boland proved himself to be an effective and versatile teacher, capable of making mystifying concepts manageable. For most of his years at the prep, he would be the sole teacher of our calculus program. Mr. Boland is a teacher's teacher, someone who is committed to his craft, generous with his time to students and colleagues, and someone who would always rather be teaching. He would chair the math department for a total of 12 years and was deeply involved in the formation of new teachers as the new teacher mentor for 20 years. Under his leadership, he helped develop our math summer enrichment program, taught pre-calculus for many summers, was instrumental in helping to found the Seton Scholars Program in 2007, founded the Math Honor Society in 2005, and shared our Middle States goal to greatly expand our advanced placement program in 1993. He was also a reliable instructor to countless students who were preparing for the PSAT and SAT for 20 years. In addition to his academic contributions, Mr. Boland also was the coach of our Quiz Bowl team for 10 years, advancing to national twice and winning 2 state championships. For his commitment to the prep community, he was awarded the Caprio Award in 1995, and for his innovative use of technology in the classroom, he was awarded the Fusco Family Award in 2015. For his commitment to the art of teaching, Mr. Boland was awarded the Msgr. Michael Kelly Teacher of the Year Award in 1998 and 1999 school year. He was awarded an honorary Seton Hall Prep Diploma in 2014. Mr. Boland has been a faithful servant to the prep's tradition, and is the proud grandfather of pirates from the classes of 2007, 2019, 2020, and 2023. For your 50 years of teaching and your exemplary commitment to your students at the prep and to the profession of teaching, we thank you, Mr. Boland. May you and your wife, Eileen, enjoy many years of happiness in retirement. It was the great fortune of Seton Hall Prep when Mr. Richard Binkowski joined the English department in 1972 after the brief closure of St. Benedict's Prep in Newark. Countless students and several authors over the decades have attributed their ability to write effectively and to think clearly to the rigors of Mr. Binkowski's class. Central to his teaching philosophy is the belief that his students were capable of deep thought and critical analysis. He often believed more in his students than they did in themselves. His intellect and his courage harkened back to another age of classical education. Upon arriving at the prep, he taught humanities until 1973. He would serve as an English teacher from 1973 until the present. During those years, he fostered a love for those things classical and contemporary. He initiated the Ancient Epic and Ancient Drama Classics courses. He co-founded the Humanities Seminar course, well known for their annual pilgrimages to New York City, where they would attend theater and film productions and visit museums. He was the resident expert in cinema and would initiate and develop the Cinema Studies program, fostering the love of cinema in 2 students who would become faculty members and take over the cinema program. Always seeking to challenge his students, he helped develop the English 2 honors and high honors programs and developed the English 4 AP program. For Mr. Binkowski, teaching is a vocation and the pursuit of knowledge a noble path. Whether during the school year, in the late afternoon hours, or over summer vacation, Mr. Binkowski could be seen hunched over his desk, grading stacks of papers or preparing for the year ahead. He served as the moderator of the Pirate and the assistant coach for the first Seton Hall Prep Quiz Bowl team. Mr. Binkowski would be awarded the Caprio Award for his contribution to the community in 1977, the Reynolds Award in 2003, and was the first recipient of the Msgr. Michael Kelly Teacher of the Year Award in 1991. He once shared that the greatest tribute to him would be to one day call a former student a colleague. The presence of so many former students who have become colleagues at the Prep is a rich testimony to Mr. Binkowski's towering reputation. We thank you, Mr. Binkowski, for your over 50 years of teaching and for inspiring so many students and colleagues alike to continue the noble pursuit of truth and beauty. In your retirement, may you enjoy many years of health and happiness with your wife, Carol. After 21 years of faithful service, Kathy Flaherty has decided to retire from the President's office and the Prep. Actually, she had had enough of putting up with me. Kathy began a relationship with Seton Hall, working for many years in the financial aid office at Seton Hall University. She has been a tremendous assistant to me in leading the Prep. She has always been most helpful and open to faculty and students alike, and always does this with a sense of calmness and a smile. She has learned the coordination needed in running the school and always keeps me abreast of where I should be and what I should be doing. Kathy has been a person of service to all and is most deserving of receiving the Salvatore Caprio Award for giving to the community. There was no one more admired than Sal Caprio, and Kathy fits the bill perfectly as most worthy of this honor. On behalf of the community, I thank Kathy for sharing her life with us and wish her the best in our prayers as she enjoys some well-deserved retirement. Thank you, Kathy, for a job well done.
The Monsignor Thomas Toohey Award. This award is in the name of the previous headmaster who has been awarded annually since 1969 to an individual who has made substantial and consistent contributions to our athletic department. This year's recipient arrived here at the Prep as a freshman in 1995. He joined the basketball team and played for the program for 2 years. His love of the sport increased under then head coach Bob Farrell. He became a student of the game, and after graduating the Prep in 1999, returned to the Prep and volunteered under the direction of Coach Farrell. After 7 years as a volunteer, he was named the head coach of the Prep's junior varsity team. Greg Walsh has now completed 11 years as our junior varsity coach and has compiled a remarkable 216 win and 34 loss record with an 86.4 winning percentage. Coach Walsh has guided our JV team to our remarkable 8 Essex County JV boys basketball titles. The athletic department and school is so grateful to have Coach Walsh the past 18 years helping to guide our junior varsity squad and teams and mentoring his student athletes. In the end, the success of any school's athletic teams lie on the backs of men like Coach Walsh. This year's recipient of the Msgr Tui Award for their outstanding contributions to our athletic department is our own Greg Walsh.
The Msgr Michael E. Kelly Award is bestowed each year in recognition of excellence in teaching. It is given to an individual who exemplifies both in the classroom and in the larger school community a dedication to our core values. This year's recipient personifies these qualities and embodies the central elements of our Good Teaching Behaviors document. She started teaching at the prep in 2002 in the English department after spending 9 years teaching in public school. Sharon Verhagen is among the most effective teachers at Seton Hall Prep. Her commitment to her students is evident in her patience as well as in her creative and varied lessons, targeting various levels of ability of her students. Sharon's execution and professionalism in the classroom are second to none. Sharon has been a key voice and helpful contributor in English department discussions on curriculum and assessment. She has been particularly involved in both the freshman and sophomore year discussions. Sharon spends a great deal of her time helping our international students as well as our students with learning plans. Her ability to balance her high standards with consideration and compassion make her an excellent teacher and an important member of our faculty. Sharon has always been a team player and is willing to help the school in different capacities. She teaches the summer Prep for the Prep grammar program for incoming freshmen, and in 2019 enthusiastically volunteered to teach Algebra 1 summer school when we had a need for that program. It is with great pleasure that I present Sharon Verhagen with the 2020 Msgr Michael E. Kelly Award. Congratulations, Sharon.